Pablo looking all chill. Kind of seen me do a little bit of work on the cab. I got those couple bits that I wanted to weld out of the way, so that's all cleaned up now, good to go. Just shoot a bit of primer on it, they'll be good enough for that. That'll fill that all right. But because I'm still not sure what my paint pattern is, and it's not very important at this point, I'm going to focus on the motor. We're going to get all this done. So the game plan is going to be, I'm going to pull this motor out, and I'm either going to throw it on a stand, I'm either going to go through it, or I'm going to pull another known running motor out that just had a bad head gasket. I might lean that way, just because I know everything about that motor. This one's kind of unknown, so we'll save it for something where I can do a complete good teardown on it. So anyways, I think that's how I'm going to get started. We're going to get this out. I'm going to get that slave cylinder figured out in there, and then we'll get our motor and transmission permanently bolted in, and probably do the drive shaft right away, so that's all kind of done. All right. Anyways, ready? Ready to get started there, bud? Nope. Just gonna supervise. All right. Hey, Pablo, you want to explain what we all did? Not really, eh? Okay, what did we all do? There's a bunch of modifying that I learned to do an S10 T5 to a small block. It's not crazy, but I could probably say the things I would do different. But let's gather the little pieces and we'll show what I did first. First, I cut, remember that slave cylinder? Well, I just zip cut it and whatever. I took off from there. Then was the, I don't know what that is, that inner snout or where that sleeve is at the, right here, where the slave sits on. Well, I cut this much off of it. So that's good. Then we had to cut off the front of the snout. This one I don't know for sure, but I don't have a pilot bearing and anything. So I just went with what everybody said, and from what I measured on a Saginaw, I have to get the, what do you call it? This snout off. That was one. You're making this very hard when you're licking my face. Can you not step in the oil and move over a little bit so I can keep explaining to everybody what I'm doing? Hey, can you do that for me? No? Hey? How about you go over here for a minute? There you go. Thanks. All right. So then the pilot bearing's there. We modified our slave. Well, I can't pull it out now, but I did cut off the back. Oh, geez, Louise dog. You are making this hard. Very, very hard. Okay, hold on. In a minute, buddy. Gee, but ease, man. Sit. All right. I'm gonna try this again. And the last thing I had to do was extend the splines. I think it needed about 3/8 of an inch. All I did is just ran a zip cut. I was just kind of slicing, dicing through it. But whatever, it all works out. If I was to do it again, I think I would just put a piece of plate between the motor and the bell housing, just make a little spacer. I think it'd be fine. What happened was the clutch was bottoming out, or the pressure plate. No, not the pressure plate. The clutch was bottoming out before it would end up putting pressure on the flex plate. No, the pressure plate. Man, I'm getting this all confused. When you bolted it up, it was putting pressure on here, so it would never actually release. That said, I'm not using this one. It's pretty pitted and has to get machined. I do have another one that was on another motor, so I'm going to use that with said clutch. But this thing fits on there good. We're golden. So we can pretty much bolt this all together. I don't know how well this will work. I might have to change this stuff yet, but at least it's in there. We got a remote bleeder. I think we're going to be good. What do you think? We're going to be good? No? Just monotone Pablo, eh? All right. Well, now we got to go get the other motor and actually put all this stuff together so we can drop her in. So we can get that on. The transmission mount could go permanently. Yeah, it's like it's going to slide in and be bolted in, and that's done. We do have to touch up some paint, but we can do that when the motor's in there. That's not a problem. Yeah, let's get started. bud. Well, the motor is in. We did have a few, actually just a minor complication because this particular block did not have these holes. So we had to drill and tap those. We got some splits in there, some garbage. So when I pull the cap off to put, because I can't run a mechanical fuel pump, so I got to pull this off and put a block off on it, and then I can vacuum that out. What else? I guess there's not much else right now. We got her together. I just got to bolt up the tranny cross member. We got to actually bolt this mount down. Mint. I couldn't find that. Have to put that underneath there. And then the motor's like bolted down. But that's in there. So I think that's about all I'm going to do tonight. Don't feel like a whole lot more. This was the gusset that I made. Nothing fancy. I guess it looks kind of neat, but it's not really relevant to anything. I just wanted a little extra support on this plate. Not that I really need it because this thing is, I think, 1/4 inch or something already. So it's pretty beefy already. Anywho, that's together. We just got to scrape some surfaces, get this intake off so we can get the tunnel ram on it. That'll be a permanent fixture. And then splash a bit of paint up in the front here because these need some paint. So might just smash a whole coat up till under the truck again on the front part. So it's just evenly done, right? Yeah? Yes? No? Anywho, I guess tomorrow's plan is going to be just buttoning up the stuff on the motor here a little bit, clean that up, get that done, maybe throw some paint up on the front rails, and then should just get the drive shaft done so it's like done, kind of out of the way. And I don't know, we'll see where we go from there. It's kind of the plan for now. I could probably figure out the front brake lines, get those in, but now I'm just talking. I think it's time to go in, right? You want to go inside? Yeah. All right, bud. Let's call her a night. Till tomorrow. Yep. Give her, buddy. Okay, today's plan. Well, I got to bolt the transmission mount on because it was just easier to slip in and out because I'm too lazy to pull that bottom plate off. We've got to do that, bolt the front of the motor in, do that motor plate thing, or the block off, and we got to measure and make a drive shaft. So what I do have is a drive shaft that has the right end on it, but I can't shorten it enough because it's got this fatter tubing. If it was all the same size, it'd be easy to do. I do have this smaller one yet that will slip into the transmission and I think is the right length or close to it. Maybe not. Oh, it's not looking good. Let's see what the survey says here. Nope, not a chance. Okie dokie. All right, well, have to find. Like, I got a yoke, but I don't have the end. Okay, well, we'll dig around here some more. See if we can figure a way to goulash this together. Well, that was a bunch of screwing around. You did see me torch this thing, only because I didn't realize it had clips. These factory U-joints, I guess they're glued in from the factory, and usually just heat it and the glue oozes out of these little holes. But that said, I was heating this one trying to get it to come loose and nothing was oozing out. And I realized I forgot a couple clips inside, like these U-joints have been changed on this one. Anyways, this is like an 80E Turbo 400. That's this style. So we can keep that for stock for something. I had my one conversion joint, which just seems to be my go-to for everything. So Napa, that part number, adapted a Ford to a Chevy drive shaft. That said, we had put it in first time, test fit. It was too, like it was super close to the right length. I just wasn't sure how far the yoke would slip into the transmission. And well, of course, it bottomed out before anything. So that's why you see me cutting the end of it off. So I just cut the end off, retapered it. It's golden now, like fits in. Lots of, there's plenty of room. I have it fitting in there. We'll just have to paint it up. My only concern, so we might have to revisit this, is this drive shaft had a dent in it. So I'm really hoping it's not going to vibrate. If it does, I guess I'll just get a new tube for it. But for now, I'll try it just to see if there's any vibration or not. You imagine the vehicle was on if it had that. I don't know. Can't say if it's going to be good or bad. All I know is we got the right length drive shaft, so it'll be easy to swap that out down the road. For now, because I'm not going to open this up or do anything with it. Because if I do anything, I'll throw the balance off anyways if I was to try to heat and pop that out. Anywho, this is the right length, but I'll take it off, put some paint on it because, well, we've painted everything else on the truck, so may as well paint that. So that said, yeah, you were watching me. I cut and I retapered this. So this was actually like a longer yoke. I don't know what that would have been for, but whatever. You cut it. Just taper the edge so you don't nick your seal, and she's golden. I'm going to lather a bit of paint on there because it's going to take a little while to dry. And then we'll get back to bolting up everything else on here. Bolting the stuff up. Well, I'll be darned. I tried to use up that whole can, but there's still some left. I don't want to do the other rail. I want to clean it up, maybe give it a little scuff just to give it a second coat. I don't care about there. It's a little cruddy or dirty. I don't know what was on that brush I was using. But anyways, we did that. We dressed the drive shaft down, so that's good. When it dries, we'll be able to bolt it up permanently. I'm going to go in, grab a bite to eat, and then we'll come back and tackle some more of this. Basically get the motor actually bolted in. Maybe do the block off and do a few little things to the motor. But it's pretty much the motor itself anyways and transmission are a done deal. All right. Well, we put a coat of paint up just on the front part of the rails, just so it's all one color, because it's been painted numerous times and it wasn't blending well. So we got that done. I think it's sort of, yeah, it's dry. We got our block off plate on, so that's in. I'll have to go dig in the shed, find a starter. I don't have one for this one. I decided to go with the Shorty water pump only because I did have it all provisioned to run with the bigger pumps, but the one belt, like, you know how I could run all the normal alternator brackets and stuff, but it didn't really give me room to get a belt on. So whatever, we're gonna run this. Unfortunately, I don't got pulleys. I sort of do, but I don't have, because the Shorty pumps have the bigger bolt pattern. So gonna see if a buddy has that. I did go there before and I grabbed some brackets for the alternator, but I'm gonna have to modify and figure out how to do this all, because I don't have any of the bits for it. So we'll have to do that. Get some pulleys. Yeah, just keep kind of slowly plugging away. There's always a little bit of something, right, dog? There's always a little bit of something. Ugh, hey, got splits in your eyes. So anyways, I'm gonna go run down, grab that, and then see if we can puzzle this front end together so I can put an alternator and junk on it. All right, let's do that, and then maybe we'll get the intake on it. Just mock up with the headers on it. Yeah. Sound like a plan, Pop? Sound like a plan? Yeah. I forgot to mention, I ordered some of this off Amazon. It's actually for like under car hoods. So it sticks on the back. It's got this nice foil. It's like 10 mil thick. So I don't know, it's like a nice, I don't know. I'm gonna use it for the roof inside. But there's not as much as I thought. I don't know why I didn't think that. I still think I have some of that sound deadener from the International left. So I'll use that elsewhere, but I might buy another roll of this just so I can use inside on the firewall. But I kind of would like to just use it everywhere, that I'm not putting a seat or something. This was relatively cheap for what it is. I've tried other stuff, but I figured I'd try this because it's a little cheaper than this other, I don't know, like pipe insulation stuff. And it does have an adhesive back, so that's kind of why I went with it. So yeah, I was gonna try to ram it in all the weird places in there. All right, but first I want to get those pulleys. Well, there we go. Motor is in and done. So what did we all do? Well, you watched me do it all. So I basically put the headers on, exhaust is in, manifolds on, valve covers are on, but they're probably going to come off. I'm probably going to paint the inside. And I noticed, because they're just Chinese knockoff, there's some contact here, so I'm going to have to relief them around these parts on both sides. Like I say, I had to switch to a shorty pump, so that was okay. I got my pulleys figured out. I had a different pump because it had a bigger bolt pattern. Buddy just had a different water pump with a smaller bolt pattern, which is fine. Then my pulleys all worked, so that was good. He had a bracket, so I stole that. And the upper bracket, even though I don't have any of the bits, because in this era of motor, I guess, so to say, this bracket would have had a mount off the intake that would have held. So all I did is I made a simple little bracket with an elbow. So basically here, it does a 90 down to here. And then I just drilled another hole in here for my bracket up there. And then on the lower side, I don't really know how this one worked. I think part of it went off of the exhaust manifold or something and did something. So off my motor plate, I don't know if you can see here. I'll throw a light on. So off my motor plate, I basically your watch should be fired around. I welded a plate through a gusset on said plate in the back so it doesn't move. And then I was able to bolt this bracket on. So it's kind of how that went. I don't know if there's a better way to see it or not. Probably not. It just is what it is. Just a simple bracket. Just comes straight up off of my front motor plate. So that's seems to be good. Found an alternator in the shed. And judging by everything blocked off, I'm guessing it's a self-energizing unit. So that's going to be a win, I hope. Yeah, other than that, everything's in place. Looking good. I have my distributor set. I had a set of such a cool spark plug wires I've been saving all the time, but they don't work on this one either. I did a motor a long time ago and it came with these old Champion wires. Oh, they're just so cool. Really want to use them on something, but, well, unfortunately, this truck is not what's going to get it. So anyways, we got all that done. I think my next round I'm going to be working with the, I got to get the radiator sorted out, get that so it works, functions good. And then I'm going to do some work on the inside of the cab. That'll probably be next. Because like I say, I'm still trying to figure out my funky paint job. So I'm still brainstorming. So we're not going to splash anything there yet. But we'll work a little bit on the interior. The grill needs some work. Yeah, it's kind of like the stuff coming up next. So I'll probably just drop the cab back on again. Make sure everything's good there. Maybe I'll figure out my gas pedal. A few things like that. But I think for now, I think that's where I'm going to leave this one. Man, I hate that thing so far away, but that's what it's got to be. It's got to be. Anyways, like I was saying. Well, folks, I want to say a huge thank you to all. We're pretty much hitting a big milestone. I don't know if we've crossed it yet or not, but we're just about hit 100,000. Maybe we passed it by now. I don't know, but basically want to do a huge thank you to all you guys for getting us up there. So thanks. On that note, I do actually want to thank a bunch of the guys that pretty much kick-started the channel, or at least got me going. I had to write it down because I can't remember everything, but we got DD Speed Shop, and I'll do some links up here to the guys. But he mostly does a lot of the Tri-5 stuff, so go check him out. We got Mr. Heavy Chevy, and I know currently he's working on a 57 Chevy, so check that guy out. We got Waylon's Wire, and he's doing like a late 30s pickup now with a Chevy V12 in it, so it's pretty cool. Check him out. Again, we got some other channels. I think just plug a few channels just for the heck of it, because I'm here, and I'd like to plug some folks. There's a couple like that I personally like watching all the time is like Bellows Customs. It's got they're just a custom shop down I think in Los Angeles or California or somewhere south. Anywho, hey, we can't forget Mortsky Repair and Puddin's Fab Shop. Those are two good ones to watch, fun to watch there. Will It Starts. I would say check off Casey Customs as well, like because he's got a lot of. He does like these budget builds, but he kind of raffles them off. So there'll probably be some of you folks be interested in owning some old iron, or the chance to win some old iron, I guess. But and then I guess the last one I'll plug here is RAC Garage, and he works on like a lot of older hot rods and stuff. So I think it's cool. I'd say check these guys out. I'm gonna leave a link because there's too many channels. I can't get them all. Check the description out. I'm gonna put a link to just a whole bunch of channels that I watch and a bunch of local guys around here, stuff like that would be awesome. If you guys would go check them out. But in the big picture, again, I want to thank you guys for watching me fart around in my shop. I don't know why that's interesting to some folks, but hey, thank you. Thank you much. Anyways, as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Later.